All right, guys, welcome back to day number 2. Guys, my name is Peter Langan, and for those of you that don't know me, hey folks, welcome back to day number 2. Now, my name is Peter Langan. For those of you that don't know me, I help people who sell physical products online sell in a way that builds trust first. It's something I discovered while launching Apex, our mountain bike goggle brand, and it's played a huge role in our growth. Now I'm refining it and helping others do the same. Let's go. Now, guys, that's my intro, and to be honest with you, it does need a bit of work in terms of how I deliver it, right? But I was thinking a lot over the weekend. I'm recording this, and today is actually Tuesday, the 22nd of April. And I was reading a book, and the book is called Psycho Cybernetics, right? And one of the things it talks about is your self-image, right? Now, I've been building businesses online and, learning all this stuff, email marketing, YouTube, product design, sourcing, everything. There's so much going on, right? But sometimes you actually don't know. If someone asks you, what do you do? I actually struggle to answer that, really. I didn't know how to answer that. And, my wife actually made a comment and she said, when people ask you what you do, you kind of feel, I suppose, nearly shy and nervous. Because the reality is, it's not a normal job. If I tell someone I lay bricks, they'd be like, yeah, get you, I understand. Or I'm a pharmacist, or I'm a driver. It's like they can put you in a box. Whereas what we do online, people like me and you, we do something that's completely different. And sometimes when we can't explain that, we don't really feel valuable to society because we can't actually outline exactly what we do. So I figured, okay, I need to figure this out, right? And I also figured if I know this, I can actually really help attract people that are looking for that service, right? Because as I grow Trojan and as I get Trojan out there, which is something that I'm very passionate about because I've seen the benefit of what it's brought to our business, Apex in particular. But I realized that was just the start. So if we refine this more and more and we actually improve things, it will do many, many times what it's done for us so far. But what it's done for us so far has been so positive, right? So let's just think about this mission, right, that I'm on and that what I'm doing. I help people who sell physical products. So Trojan is designed for people that sell physical products online. It's not designed for those that sell information. If you sell information, it doesn't really work. And the reason for that is simple. People need to get something tangible. They need to feel like you're actually giving them something. Yes, I appreciate there is value in information, but it's not the same getting a free unlock. You know what I mean? There'll be no value in that, right? In terms of what we're trying to position this as, right? We're trying to position this as, we're taking all the risk. Because with information, you can just delete the risk, right? Because you can disable their access. Whereas with a physical product, we are trusting the customer with the product. So it has to be physical product, right? It cannot work with information, right? But what we do is we help those that sell physical products. What I do, sell online in a way that builds trust first. So what I've discovered from years of selling online, the trust was very much weighted in terms of the customer had to trust the seller, right? So when you buy something online, think about it. You place the order, you're trusting the seller that first, you're going to get the item. Second, it's going to be as described. And third, if there's a problem, they'll sort it out for you, right? And generally, that is the way it works. Generally, you do get the item and generally, hopefully you like the item. And third, if there's a problem, you hope that they will sort it out for you. But if we were to try to reverse engineer this for maximum, I suppose, benefit weighted to the customer, right, the buyer, and we have to try to flip that. And that's what we've done in Trojan Sell, and that is what's actually made a huge difference to our business. So instead of them having to trust us, we have to trust them. We have to trust that, first of all, they're not going to, take the item out on trial and then just cancel the card, never communicate and disappear, right? That could happen, let's be honest. But based on our experience, we've had 100% success rate. And based on human psychological laws and all this sort of stuff, which I'll cover on future videos, that is very unlikely to happen. And even if it does happen in one or two cases, the benefits will far outweigh that. But we've taken that risk on as sellers, right? We've taken that risk on, right? So by shifting that trust, we have weighted everything in the benefit of the customer, right? Which I think is the way it should be, because ultimately we're asking them for business. So let's make it as easy as possible for them to give us business. And the way to do that is to weigh the trust in their favor. But again, I think this actually speaks very favorably of products, because if we're willing as a seller to give a product out on trial, right? And we would only do that if we're confident that product is good and we're confident that the customer's going to like that product. Because if we're putting a poor product out on trial, like, it's not going to work out well for us, because customers are going to get it and they're going to realize this is not as described, this is not able to do what I want, and I'm going to send it back, right? So it's going to cost us, time, really. I don't necessarily going to cost us money. It's going to cost us time, right? And maybe spoiled stock. Or if the product is good and the customer gets it and has a great experience with it, well, the next logical step is for them to keep that product and ultimately pay us and, ascend into our value, into our value ladder, into our business, as, and purchase future products and all that kind of stuff, right? So that is the way the whole thing works, right? But let's just move on a little bit forward, right? I state here as well that, like, it's something I discovered when launching Apex. So Apex was a mountain bike goggle company that myself and Alex and Dougie launched about a year ago, right? Or is, I should say, right? And a core part of that business growth came from a Trojan offer, basically where we allowed people to try out our goggles for £10, right? They cost us a lot more than £10 to manufacture and ship out, right? But we let people try them for £10. And the purpose of that was to get the product into their hands, get them using it. And once they started using it, we were confident that the product would sell itself, right? And that's exactly what happened. And that's what I'm saying. We've had over 100% success rate. Not one person has returned that product yet, in terms of not being happy with it, right? In the spirit of transparency, 2 people said, I'd like to return it. And then I was like, okay, send them back to this address and we'll forget about it. But then they both reached out again and said, do you know what? Don't bother. Either my friend's going to buy it off me, or, you know what? I changed my mind. It's actually quite good and I want to keep it. That was 2. I have about 160, 180 customers, whatever it is, right? So basically, I can say we've had 100% success rate, right? But even if we had some failures, hypothetically, we would need something like I think it was a 63% failure rate for us to lose money, right? So to basically break even. So the margins were always on our side, the numbers, but that didn't happen anywhere, irrespective. It was very, very positive, right? And that whole system has played such a positive role in the launch of the brand. And now the brand is, it's expanded into new countries. We're redoing the website, which I'm sure again will help Trojan as well, to relay the offer better, because we probably didn't explain it very well. So, for this slow start, it's been very, very, very good. And what I'm doing now, right, is I'm refining that. So I'm documenting it. I'm recording these videos just to improve the framework, but also to help others do the same, because that's what I want to do. Because I've seen the benefit we got from implementing a Trojan offer, that I know that it will do the same for others. I have no doubt in my mind it will do the same for others. So what we're doing now is we're collecting some case studies. So I need to put all that in a sentence. So that's exactly what I did. And I think I'm probably going to try and use that more at the top of videos, things like that, just to introduce myself and introduce the framework and what I do. So again, for those of you that might need a recap, I help people who sell physical products online sell in a way that builds trust first. It's something I discovered when launching Apex, our mountain bike goggle brand, and it's played a huge role in our growth. Now I'm refining it and helping others do the same. So let's go. I think that's simple. I think that really covers what we're doing here and what I'm doing here. So, maybe you don't have a mission for what you're doing. I would implore you to try and probably create one. Because sometimes, like I, as I said, I kind of get distracted. I'm doing all this different stuff, but I need something core. So when people ask me, what do I do? I can tell them. So now I can tell you, I can tell them, this is exactly what I'm doing. And that is exactly how Trojan came about. So, yeah, guys, please, if you want to learn more about Trojan, if you want to follow the journey as this framework grows and maybe implement it inside your business, hit subscribe and leave a comment down below as well. Let me know what you think. Maybe you think it's mad, maybe you think it's crazy, maybe you think it's great. Either way, I'd love to hear from you, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Take care.